Welcome to RWG Publishing. Have you ever had that feeling? That spark of an idea for a book, but you just had no clue where to even begin? That sense that there's a story inside you just begging to get out? Well, today, we are unlocking the roadmap for that exact journey. We're going to be diving deep into Bill Vincent's guide, Write Your Way to Success, a system that's literally designed to take you from that intimidating blank page all the way to becoming a published author. So, let's jump right in.
In this quote from Bill Vincent, it just gets right to the heart of everything we're talking about today. See, writing isn't just about grammar and stringing sentences together. It's about real influence. It's about transformation. The core message here is that this kind of power isn't reserved for some select, gifted few. It's a skill that you can learn, the ability to build a business, to inspire a movement, or just to create a world that people can get lost in. It all starts with words. And that power, well, it's right there at your fingertips.
So where does a journey like this really begin? Well, before you type a single word, you have to get a handle on your why. It's all about understanding the fundamental power you're about to wield, because that's the foundation for absolutely everything that comes next. Now, one of the key ideas in the book is that the word writer is actually a really broad term. This isn't just for people hoping to write the next great American novel. No, whether you see yourself as an author, a business owner, or an entrepreneur, writing is the #1 tool you're going to use to turn your ideas into something real. We're talking proposals, websites, investor pitches, you name it. The book really frames it as a form of professional empowerment, the one skill that makes your ideas tangible, saleable, and ultimately successful.
Okay, so once you've really locked in your why, it's time to prepare for the how. Success in writing doesn't just happen. It needs preparation. And that starts with crafting your creative space, not just the physical room around you, but the space inside your own head, too.
The book gets super practical with this. It's all about setting up a dedicated space that's organized for both efficiency and, I love this word, serenity. It's about removing friction. I mean, think about it. A pen that keeps skipping, a keyboard with a sticky key. That tiny little annoyance can be just enough to completely shatter your creative flow. This is about building a sanctuary where your tools never, ever get in the way of your ideas.
But your creative space isn't just physical, right? It's also internal. So many aspiring authors get hung up on this idea of finding their unique voice, and the message in the book is just so wonderfully reassuring. Don't worry about it. Your voice will show up naturally because, well, you can't help it. It's already yours. The more you write, the louder and more distinctive that voice becomes. You don't force it. You uncover it, one word at a time.
Okay, so your space is prepped, your mind is right. Now it's time for the main event. It's time to actually write. This next part is all about the act of creation itself, how you turn that little spark of an idea into a full-blown first draft. This, my friends, is where the magic really happens.
Every great story, and I mean every single one, is built on characters who feel real. The book really hammers this home. They need to be multi-dimensional, with strengths and, just as importantly, flaws. The goal is to make them ring true, to feel so alive on the page that your reader can't help but feel empathy for them and get invested in their wild, unpredictable, and totally life-changing journey.
But how in the world do you keep track of all these characters and plot twists? The answer, and don't be scared, is an outline. The book calls it the fast first step, the thing that makes the whole process viable. Now, think of it less like a rigid cage and more like a roadmap for your story. It directs the flow, gives your book a skeleton, and provides that crucial structure right from the start.
You've done it. You finished your first draft. And seriously, congratulations. That is huge. But the journey is not over, not by a long shot. In fact, one of the most important stages is coming up next, the art of revision. This is where you take that raw clay and sculpt it into a masterpiece. So just how important is that sculpting process? Well, check this out. 60%. According to the book, most published writers spend about 60% of their time revising. Let that sink in. That's way more time spent editing and polishing than they spent writing the first draft. This just completely reframes the entire process, doesn't it? Great writing isn't just a flash of inspiration. It's a long, dedicated process of relentless polishing. It's where good becomes great.
We're at a really natural turning point here, moving from the creative act to the business of publishing. And if these first few steps are already sparking some ideas for you, I cannot recommend enough that you dig deeper. You can find Bill Vincent's complete guide, Write Your Way to Success, on Amazon to get all the nitty-gritty details and exercises. All right, your manuscript is polished, it's shining, it's ready for the world. Now what? Well, you've arrived at a major fork in the road, one that every single author has to face, choosing your path into the wild world of publishing.
This part is all about understanding your options.
The book breaks it down into two main paths. On one hand, you have traditional publishing. This usually means getting a literary agent, the publisher covers the costs, and you get an advance and royalties. But the requirements are really stringent. On the other hand, there's self-publishing. Here you are in complete control. You cover the costs, but you also keep a much, much higher royalty, sometimes up to 70%, and you can get your book to market way faster. There's no single right answer here. It's all about figuring out which path best fits your personal goals.
But here's the thing. Whichever path you end up choosing, one thing is absolutely certain. Writing the book is just the beginning. To build a truly successful career as an author, you have to build your platform and you have to market your work. The author has to lead the charge. So what does this platform actually look like? Well, the book lays out the key pieces. You need a professional website to be your home base, an email newsletter to connect directly with your biggest fans, a genuine, authentic social media presence, not just a constant sales pitch. The advice is to start building this stuff as early as possible to get that buzz going. And I just love this last point. Eventually, your book becomes your single best business card.
And this all leads up to the main event, the launch. The book really stresses how crucial a strategic pre-launch PR campaign is. Your whole objective is to get that sales ball rolling from day one. That means sending out advanced news releases, getting early copies into the hands of reviewers, and planning events. It's all about building that anticipation so that on launch day, you've already got an audience that's excited and waiting. After all that work, the writing, the endless revising, the marketing, we finally get to the reward. And this quote from the book just captures it perfectly. It's that heady feeling, that deep personal satisfaction of holding your published book in your hands. But it's more than that. It's knowing that your story, your ideas are now connecting with complete strangers, becoming a part of their world.
So, we've walked the entire path together, from just understanding the power of your words to actually holding that finished book. The process laid out in Write Your Way to Success gives you a clear, actionable roadmap. And that really just leaves one final crucial question. Your experiences, your imagination, your expertise, all of it is completely unique to you. So, are you ready to tell your story? I'm your host speaker. Thank you for listening to the Deep Dive Podcast.